So the yuddham was happening. Arjuna jumped from his chariot, took the sword from his cupboard, pulled Drupada and held him close and said, I will not kill you. Yes, sir. He said, I will not kill you. My Acharya has asked me to bring you in front of him. You are a Raja. I will give you due respects. Don't worry, I will do you no harm. I won't humiliate you. Please come along with me yourself without creating much halabaloo. Come with me, I will take you. That time, remember this. That time, Drupada thought, I wish I had a daughter so that I could get married to a man like him. If at all I have a daughter, he should be my son-in-law. This was his thought, even while getting arrested. See, imagine that. He's getting arrested. Now, he was taken before Drona. Drona said, see, I have literally won over you. So your entire Panchala Desham belongs to me. Now, I don't want you to suffer, Drupada. If I take your entire Rajyam, you will become poor. So what I will do is, I have bequeathed your Rajyam. I will give half of that to you. He has taken his entire property. Now he is giving Bhiksha. He said that capital will be called Kampilya. Go away. That time Drupada thought, if at all I have a son, he should kill this Drona in a war. And he left. Now his mind was entirely into vendetta. When will that boy be born? How will he be born? Can he kill Drona? That is when he wanted to perform a Putrakameshti. So he went to two brothers called Yaja and Upayaja. Yaja said, see, these kind of Kamyartha Yagams and all, I don't do. Mere paas mat aao. I'm already very busy. I've got many clients in Hyderabad. So leave me. As he said this, he went to the younger brother Upayaja. Upayaja said, you pay me little more, I will do it. So Upayaja conducted the Putrakameshti. At that time, the Charu was formed. The wife had to be called. Drupada's wife was very busy. She said, sir, always you are doing yagam. I have to go somewhere. I too have my own life. I am an individual. All along, I cannot keep staying with you. I am independent. I don't know. She went away. Now this Charu was left. So this Charu was thrown into the Yagashala. Then there came a blazing fire from that. Something very magical. Not logically tenable for us, but something magical happened. Jwala varnau ghora rupaha kiriti varma chottamam bibhrat sakhadgas sasharo dhanushman vinadan muhu drishtatvat yunnimarshatvat dyumna dyutsambhavadapi drishtadyumna kumaroyam drupadasya bhavatviti. One boy, not even a boy, a well-developed adult, very strong biceps, six packs, armor, kavacham, kundalam, kiritam, with khadgam, with all the ayudhams. His face was blazing with anger. His body was revealing his valor. He emerged from the fire, fully developed boy. That way Drupada was blessed. He didn't have to go to kindergarten, find an admission, give that interview, give all the online Zoom classes, then understanding what branch he will take, then going behind that college. All this he didn't have to do. Fully developed adult had come. So he was given the name Drishtadyumnaha. So what was the interest of the yagam? The yagam was meant so that it can accomplish whatever Drupada desires. What did Drupada desire? He wanted a son who could take on Drona. God. So he said, everybody is being paid well. Transfer ho gaya na sabhi ko. Okay, theek hai, sabhi log maaf kar dijiye, kshama kar dijiye. Abhi ho gaya yajna, havan ho gaya. Namaskar. Punaha milte hain 9 p.m. tomorrow. That all. He gave the vote of thanks and he had to leave. But the Agni did not get shamanam. See, whenever we do a havan in our house, our havan and all is for half an hour, 45 minutes. That time itself we get impatient. Kab khatam hoga, kab khatam hoga. Half an hour. So we have to wait for the Agni to come and wait for the Agni to go. Because you have invited Agni as your guest. Till that Agni Shamanam happens, you have to stay. So the Agni did not get Shamanam at all. Drupada was wondering, what is happening? I had wanted a son, son ho gaya, abhi kya hai? Kumari cha pipanchali vedi madhyat samuttita subhaga darshaniyangi swastita yatalochana shyama padmapala shakshi neelakunjita mudhaja tamratunganakhi subhru charupina payodara. There was a beautiful woman who came unexpectedly from the Agni Kundam. Kumari Chapi Panchali, she was very young. Vedi Madhyat Samuttita, she arose from the Vedika. Subhaga Darshaniyangi, no woman in the world until then had a beauty as blemishless as her. Subhaga Darshaniyangi. Swastita yatalochanaha, her eyes were so wide. Shyama, look at the word, she was dark hued. That is Bharatam. See, our heroes and heroines, if you look into Ramayanam and Mahabharatam, are dark color. No one is fair. All dark people. Now we have come to the state where we will make advertisements where the girl is very sad because one boy has rejected her. Then another person will come and give one tube. She will apply that all over her face. Then she will become bright and she will marry that boy. See where we have come down as a society. From calling Draupadi, the dark-hued one, as a heroine, we are now making our girls and boys fair. See, if you're fair, naturally that's another thing. But whenever we describe Paramatma, he is called as Meghavarna, Shyama, dark-hued. Samudrika Lakshana Shastram talks so deep about dark skin. We have to first accept ourselves. See, when we don't accept ourselves and we want to impress upon somebody, our life will be ruined. Why should I impress the other person? If my partner wants me to be, I am not that fair. I'm not fair skin. I don't apply this churnam, foundation, eyeshadow, nothing I apply. Just this thiruman I apply and come. Now if you think that I am dark skinned, so be it. My wife has accepted. What more do I want? If my wife says, no, you have to be fair skinned, I don't need that kind of a wife. Right? Why will I have to become someone to impress someone? Where we have degraded as a society. Just think. Shyama Padmapala Shakshi, her eyes were akin to the petals plucked from a newly blossomed lotus. Shyama Padmapala Shakshi, Neela Kunjita Murdhaja, curly hair tresses with the blue hue all along. Tamra Tunga Nakhi Subru, it looked as if copper was polished over her nails, red color nails. Tamra Tunga Nakhi Subru Charupina Payodhara. Beautiful she looked. The entire Sabha Mantapam was amazed. Ye kaun hai? Byproduct. Product was Drishtadyumna. What is his byproduct? That is when the Rishi asked, I had made a vow, whatever you had desired should happen. Had you desired a daughter? Remember when Arjuna had come, he thought, if at all I have a daughter, he should be the son-in-law. So that was accomplished. The girl came. மண்மேல் ஒருத்தி அறக்கற்குலம் மாளப் பிறந்தாள் வாமனுதல் கண்மேல் இன்றும் இவள் பிறந்தாள் கழற்காவலர்த்தம் குலமுடிப்பான். How was she? Krishnetya Bruvan Krishnam Krishna Bhoot Sahi Varnataha. She was called Krishna. She was called the dark-hued one. Dark-hued one, Krishna. Now they describe that day when she came, father arranged for jewelry. The Sairandrika Stris were trying to arrange all, fix all the jewelry. So they kept that Netti Chutti. In that Madhya Desham, you've got one. Then there is a septum, Mullak. Then they fit all the earrings. See, today we say that, men, some of them, many women, they have multiple holes. This was there even in the past. If you go southwards in Sangam literature, you will have Tandatti, you will have all this, you will have 6-7 places, each one is called by a name. So we have not come up with something new. So wherever that 1 inch space is possible, we'll keep boring. So all the jewelry was fixed, the choker, all the step chain, everything was given. Now the women had to fix the girdle, mekhala, kanchi. They didn't know where to keep it because they have to keep it in the hip. So they can keep it. No, sir, hip was missing. The poet says in Bharata Champu, hip was missing. How is that possible? How can the upper torso float in air? It needs a connection, right? It needs a connection. But the hip was so thin that it could not be seen. Lakshana Shastram says for the man and the woman, the hip should be that invisible, it seems. It should be so thin. We can't even imagine. Right? We are beyond that because when we go to a doctor, he says, all your Purva Janma karma is settled here. Huh? Sakalamapi vapu vibhushya tanvya sapadi sakhi vipulekshana bhujapi chirataramanavekshya madhya desham karadhrita kanchana kanchireva. So there was this girdle placement. Now they placed that girdle. There is another shloka. You will all appreciate literature. This is from Bharata Champu. The women were all holding different saris in their hands. One was holding a paithani, one was holding a ikkat sambalpuri, one was holding a maheshwari, one was holding a patola, one was holding maybe a mangalagiri, one pochampalli, one a KSIC, one the Kasavu of Kerala, one Kanchi, one Tribhuvanam, one Darasuram, one Banarasi brocade. So everyone was holding multi-colors, multi-knots. And so when they were all holding, and she was sporting the girdle. Imagine the girdle has uncut diamonds. The reflection of those saris held by them will fall on this. So those multi-cut, uncolored diamonds looked colorful. One looked red, one looked green because the reflections were falling on them. So those sari reflections were falling on them. The poet says, the moment she saw so many saris falling on her girdle, she held it tight. Why? The poet says she knew she will need them later. He says, Kanchi kalapamani bimbita parshvayoshi kausheya panktiravanarindra suta babase avir bhavishyadadi goshti kirita katini magnam vyavasa shatam janadrishami vasuchayanti. So she was decorated. Now Swayamvaram was ordered. She had to get married to someone. Around the same time, Pandavas were put into a palace of inflammable materials called Lakshagraham. That was burnt. They escaped. They went to Ekachakra Nagaram. Bhima killed Bakasura. Then they moved from that place and they were walking back. The Brahmana said, there is a Swayamvaram close by. You all look capable Brahmanas. Let us go attend. At least let us be in the audience. So they all went to Kampilya. It was around, they were in the disguise of Brahmanas. Remember, the Pandavas were in the disguise of Brahmanas. The king had arranged, Duryodhana had come, Dushyasana had come, Karna had come, all those other people had come. So the Swayamvaram was arranged. You have to prove your Veeram. Veerya should come. What is it you have to do? There will be a fish. The fish is attached to a disc. The disc will keep revolving. That is attached to the ceiling. So the fish with the disc is attached to the ceiling. Below it are waters. So the warrior has to come, look at the fish's reflection in the waters and take an arrow. Looking downwards, he has to hit upwards at the eye of the fish. Nobody will get married. Who will get married? I will not even participate. I don't mind sitting next to Vinayaka. Right, it's okay, sir. It's okay to be a brahmachari. Why go there, lose the battle and then feel humiliated when media interviews come? See, imagine you attend and outside media will be waiting. Sir, kaisa laga? Kaisa hoga? So it is better to remain. So, such tests were there. Thank God, Kali Yugam, that way we are blessed. So there is some great Mahanubhava who gives his precious daughter to us. We have to be quiet and take. So, Yajnasenasya kamastu. Now, beautiful. See, Mahabharatam is an experience. You have to relish Mahabharatam at every step. So the Swayamvaram is happening. Most of them failed. That is when Balarama made an orbit comment. He called Krishna and said, Krishna and Balarama were special VIPs. They were in the corporate box, like IPL, they were there watching. So Balarama told Krishna, Krishna, शायद अर्जुन जीवित होता तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता ना. शायद अर्जुन जीवित होता. Krishna said, do you see one person there? Yes, he looks like a Brahmana. He's got beard. वो ही अर्जुन है. He said, etiquette and behavior doesn't come with, it's not everybody's cup of tea. So, here, Krishna said, Balarama, look at that man who's coming. Hide the jata and hide the beard and see. ये कौन है? ये ही अर्जुन है, action king. This is Arjuna. How did he survive? All that I'll tell you later. He is Arjuna. So now Arjuna as a Brahmana came. He wanted to just apply the way he came. The shloka is Arjuno dhanushobhyashe tasthau giririva chalaha sadadhanuhu parikramya pradakshinamata karot pranamya shirasa devam ishanam varadam prabhum krishnam chamanasa kritva jagrihe cha Arjuno dhanuhu. When Arjuna came, see, the way he walked itself gave a confidence to everybody that this man will win. See, the way you hold. See, when you speak like this itself, audience will lose that hope. See, the way you speak, the way you look, should determine what confidence you have on the content. Your body language should say whether you're a speaker or a listener. When Arjuna walked, people knew he will win. He did a pradakshinam around that. See, that is Arjuna. He respected his vidya. He respected. He did a pradakshinam around the bow and the arrow, lifted it, looked at the waters, looked up, looked at the waters again. He calculated at what velocity, at what distance it is going. Calculated. See, it's simple science, right? You have to take the center to the circumference. You get the radius. And from that radius, you have to create an imaginary cone so that you get the volume. From that volume, you'll have to raise. It's simple. Pi r3 cube, we do, right? So he did that. Now you may say, sir, were they mathematicians in those days? See, if we believe that mathematics comes only with our degree, then how did the mothers of 1900s who had 7 children were able to get all their children married off without studying MBA? Tell me. You don't need a degree to be a management professional. What were our ancestors? They had so many children, one person working in the house. They fed all their children and got their children married. They were management professionals. Today with one child we suffer. One child we don't know how to manage. They had 7 daughters, 5 sons, 12 children in the family, all of them well settled. How did they do that? They knew where to save and where to spend. So you don't, see, I'm not trying to demean. I've taught for MBA, so don't take it that way. But what I'm saying is, practical knowledge is very important. You can't just go by theoretical knowledge, Maslow's hierarchy, sociological, physiological, flood, water. So it's SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, etc. This is not the way management is done. It's through practical experience. You take up a job. A child, if he's capable, 7th standard child, give him 100 rupees and say you have to buy rice and wheat. The child should know how much quantity rice we take. He may have to buy 1.5 kgs of rice, half a kg of wheat because we make chapati once a week. This is how the child should calculate. It is not through simple formulae. Theoretically, you will be strong. Practically, you will be a big zero.